What is up, my guys? Welcome to another enormous unboxing on my channel, this one containing all of my August boxes. So this one is going to be a smidge smaller than last month, which isn't difficult because that was truly enormous. But in this video, we are going to have all of our usual suspects as well as a couple of additional special editions that have arrived within the month. But before we get into tearing open all of this bookish goodness, I would first like to reacquaint you with the sponsor of today's video, which is the wonderful Wild. So if you are unfamiliar with Wild, they are the creators of environmentally conscious deodorants using natural ingredients, and you won't find any plastic waste in any of their products or packaging. I am very, very excited about the limited edition case of the month because look at it, look at that. We have Sausage Dogs. Not only is she cute, not only is she a stunner, but alongside this campaign, Wild are going to be donating £10,000 to Wood Green so that they can continue their work rescuing and rehoming animals, which is always a cause that is really, really close to my heart. So this is the limited edition case for September, and the limited edition scent. Could this be my favorite Wild scent so far? It is very possible because the September limited edition fragrance is amber and oud, and I love amber. I love the like resinous, like sweet, spicy, smoky scent of amber and oud, and this just nails all of that on the head. Like, this smells like luxury, guys, and I am obsessed. One of my favorite things about Wild as well, like I said, they're environmentally conscious, so your cases are reusable, also personalizable, and the deodorant cartridges themselves are compostable, so when you're done with them you can just pop them out of your case, reload it, and throw this into your compost bin. Wild also make these cute little mini deodorants, which are perfect for if you're on the move, and will very much come in handy with me this month as I'm going to both Croatia and Rome, but also these would be perfect to throw into your gym bag. So if you would like to substitute your deodorant for something a little bit more natural and would like to check out Wild, you can click on the link in my description box and use the code BeccaBooks to get 20% off the entire Wild range. And once again, a thank you to Wild for continuing to support my channel. So getting into this month's subscription boxes, we do have the usuals. We have the ones that were sent to me as wrap packages to open for you guys, and that is the young adult and the adult Fairyloot. Fairyloot are a UK-based subscription box service that specialise in fantasy. The YA box has a brand new hardback release and a selection of bookish goodies, and the adult box is a book-only subscription that has an exclusive adult fantasy sci-fi hardback. Mainly fantasy, sometimes a little bit of sci-fi. So thank you very much to the team at Fairyloot for sending those over to me. We also have the Illumicrate, which was sent to me to show to you guys. Illumicrate are also a UK-based subscription company. They tend to go in the new adult to adult range of books, and once again you will get a brand new exclusive hardback release. They do mainly do fantasy and sci-fi, and you will get a selection of bookish goodies. If you would like to get your hands on an Illumicrate after watching this video, I do have a code for you guys. My code is Becca5, and that will get you a discount on a 3 or a 6 month subscription. So aside from that, we have a Fairyloot special edition. This is a sequel to a book that was in that adult box. We have the August Locked Library, which I'm really interested to see because I have heard the worst things about this book. And we also have my first ever order from Broken Binding, which is a special edition that I could not resist. So we'll start with the Fairyloots because they're on top, and I guess we'll be starting with the adult box this month. I don't think this time I have been spoiled for anything in this stack, which is unusual, but that means that I'm extra excited to see what books we have this month. The theme for this month is powerful bloodlines, which doesn't tell me, like, I can't guess from the theme what it is, but let's have a little look-see. Oh, she's purple. This way. Oh, we also have a letter from the author on the back of this art card. This one is Forged by Blood by Egbor Åkesson, and oh, we have a gorgeous printed edge on here. I really like the combination of the turquoise and the purple. We also have, ooh, foiled end pages that are a bit fancy, which are also different on each side. We have reverse dust jacket art. This one is a reversible dust cover if you want to flip it around. And we also have a foiled hardcover. I really like the background, like the printed background on this hardcover. And as usual with Fairyloot, I know that this is an exclusive cover, so I will overlay the original cover over the top so that you guys can see the difference. But I actually have no idea what this one's about, so I'm going to read the synopsis. It is signed as well. Oh, it's a Harper Voyager one as well, which is cool. Demi only wanted to survive to avoid the suspicion of the tyrannical Arges occupying her homeland, to escape the king's brutal genocide of her people, the Illuso, and to live peacefully with her secretive mother while learning to control the blood magic that is her birthright. But survival has given way to vengeance. A betrayal has cost her mother's life, and Demi demands payment. She bides her time until devious Lord Aquenzi grants her the perfect opportunity, kidnap the Arge prince, and bargain to save the remaining Illuso. She sets out on her hunt with her childhood friend Colin in tow, but the way ahead proves far more dangerous than either of them could have imagined. Before she and the prince share more than deadly secrets, and every moment will tangle them further into a forbidden, unmistakable attraction. If she is to claim justice for her mother and her people, Demi will not be able to trust anyone or anything. Not Colin, not her fledgling magic, not even her own heart. A tale of rebellion and redemption, love and lies, forged by blood is epic fantasy at its finest, richly steeped in Nigerian mythology. I gotta say, the synopsis of this isn't grabbing me immediately. I will give it a try at some point, as I do give all subscription books a try, but I don't think that this is one that I would have picked up on my own volition just based on the synopsis. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to enjoy it, you know. Where we started our stack today, we'll put it behind me for now. Next up, we'll move on to the YA Fairyloot, which was the last one to arrive, so I definitely haven't been spoiled for anything in this. I just heard a tinkle, which makes me believe that there could be metal straws in here, which quite honestly are my favorite. So the theme for this month is reap what you sow. I will put the spoilers here so you can pause and read them if you would like to, but I will be going in blind. The first thing we have is a Tumblr. It's a Belladonna Tumblr, which is a book that Fairyloot have done an edition for in the past. A very popular one as well. I feel like a lot of people really like it. It's an aesthetically pleasing one, which we love. I was looking at one of these in TK Maxx with bats on the other day. I'm glad now that I don't need to buy one. But this has a quote that wraps around that says, "Oh, you are mine and I am yours, and together this world is ours." And we also have the glass straw as well. I'm real happy with that. Then we have the metal, these are mini straws. Oh my god, I'm so happy that these are mini straws. I have a set of mini straws because I drink everything through a straw, okay? Not just cold drinks, I drink hot drinks through a straw as well, because you're not gonna stain your teeth any faster than you are drinking things like tea and coffee. So these are really gonna come in handy for me because I have a lot of big straws, but I don't have many small ones. We also have Bone Season book tabs in here, but the Bone Season is one of my favorite series. These are really pretty. I love that they have like a ruler on them as well for annotating. I really love the design on these. These are really pretty. They match the books as well. I love those. It says at the top as well, page tabs, get it, because the main character is called Paige. We also have bookends. This is a real good Fairyloot box. The bookends are inspired by Gideon the Ninth, which is a book that's actually on my September TBR, so I'll definitely be reading it in the next couple of months. Without separating those, they have like a skull design. They have the 9 as well, which represents the 9th in Gideon the Ninth, obviously. And then digging in the bottom of the box, we have another item, which is a gothic inspired sticker sheet, perfect for spooky season. And then the final thing before we get to the book of the month is this month's tarot card, which are almost like a bonus item in every Fairyloot. You receive 2 tarot cards, and then the idea is that when you have so many Fairyloots, you will have a full deck of tarot. And these ones are the King and Queen of Stars, which I believe are characters potentially from this month's Fairyloot book of the month. So getting into that book of the month, we have a really nice edge and it's green as well. But in this bag, before we get to the book, we do have the monthly fairy scoop. We have the letter from the author on the back of this art card. And we also have the bookmark that matches the spoiler card art. And this month's YA Fairyloot is very green. And it is, ooh, Bonesmith by Nikki Pau Preto. I really like this cover. I will put the original over the top. That is a badass right there. I already want to know this girl. The back says, "Ready your blade, defeat the undead." Oh, the artist who has done the end papers and stuff for this, Big fan. I really like this art style. We also have printing on the dust jacket. We have a reversible dust jacket. Once again, gorgeous art. And the back, more illustrated end pages. I don't know what this book is about, but this could be potentially one of my favorite Fairyloot editions just based on how it looks, and I think it's because I really like the art style. But getting into that synopsis, it says, in the Dominions, the dead linger, violent and unpredictable, unless a bonesmith severs the ghost from its earthly remains. For bonesmith Wren, becoming a Valkyr, a ghost-fighting warrior, is a chance to solidify her place in the noble house of Bone and impress her frequently absent father. But when sabotage causes Wren to fail her qualifying trial, she is banished to the border wall, the last line of defense against a wasteland called the Breach, where the vicious dead roam unchecked. Determined to reclaim her family's respect, Wren gets her chance when a House of Gold prince is kidnapped and taken beyond the wall. To prove she has what it takes to be a Valkyr, Wren vows to cross the breach and rescue the prince. But to do so, she's forced into an uneasy alliance with one of the kidnappers, a fierce ironsmith called Julian from the exiled House of Iron, the very people who caused the breach in the first place, and the House of Bone's sworn enemy. I really like the houses that we have in here. As they travel, Wren and Julian spend as much time fighting each other as they do the undead. But when they discover there's more behind the kidnapping than either of them knew, they'll need to work together to combat the real danger, a dark alliance that is brewing between the living and the undead. Gideon the Ninth, which it was definitely giving me, meets the Game of Thrones White Walkers in this dark young adult fantasy about a disgraced ghost fighting warrior who must journey into a haunted wasteland to rescue a kidnapped prince. This one sounds very interesting. I'm here for it. I think that this is personally one of my favorite Fairyloot boxes I've ever received. If we're talking subjectively, yes, because it's like one of my favorites in terms of I really like all of these items. Objectively, potentially we've had better Fairyloot boxes, but for me this is definitely one of the best that I've received. Down in the comments, let me know what your favorite item is, and I think for me it's gonna have to be the mini straws because they're super rare, and specifically like I use a lot of them. Next up, we will wrap up the Fairyloots by getting into the special edition that I ordered. This one is the sequel to Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson, which is a book that I read last year and I really enjoyed, and I have been eagerly anticipating the sequel because I really want to read it sooner rather than later, because when I enjoy series I'm trying to keep on top of them. In reality, it doesn't always work, but my intentions are good, guys. This was one of the adult Fairyloot books for last year, so they did of course do the sequel. We have text across the edges. I will overlay the original cover over the top because it is a different color, but I really like the way the orange is popping on this purple. We also have a signed end paper on here, a printed hardcover. This one is, or book one should I say, is an adult fantasy. It's a contemporary fantasy. It's set in Yorkshire in the UK actually, which is where I live, and we are following a group of women who were childhood best friends. They're all witches, and there was a big war between the witches and the warlocks, and this book takes place, or this series takes place after that, where they've all gone into different directions, different careers, and they're at very different places in their lives. So the plot of this one is that there is a prophecy that the sullied child is coming, and the sullied child is going to herald the arrival of this demon. So one of the members of this coven, this childhood friendship group, calls up one of her old friends and asks her to come and take a look at this sullied child because the child won't communicate, and they want to rehabilitate this child so that they do not become this sullied child figure that heralds like the end of days. This one has a lot of really great discussions on things like intersectionality, racism within institutions, and like transphobia within institutions, and also has a really cool fantasy plotline as well, so would recommend if you haven't picked it up. I really love that it's set in Yorkshire as well. I really enjoyed that about it. So next up we will do the Locked Library. The Locked Library subscription is Harper Voyager's monthly book only subscription. It does also now contain Magpie, which is their young adult imprint. I believe that this is a Magpie book. This is a subscription that I pay for myself as well. And I have had multiple people ask me if I've opened this box yet, because apparently it is awful. Like apparently the synopsis is terrible. It has, I'll tell you what the average rating on it is actually. The average rating on this is a 2.78 on Goodreads. So the people are not enjoying this book. Obviously I can't say because I haven't read the book yet, but things like this is the reason why I was dubious about the HarperCollins subscription before it came out, because it's like a relatively new one. Because obviously with it being HarperCollins, it's not necessarily the best book of the month you're going to get in this subscription. it's the book that they want to sell the most, which in this case happens to be a book apparently that nobody likes. But this one is The Kingdom is a Golden Cage by Lily Inkwood. We have a really pretty laser printed edge on here. All of the Locked Library books have a ribbon bookmark. We also have foiling under the dust jacket, and this one is, oh, it's not a magpie one. It is one more chapter, which I'm guessing is another Harper imprint, but I'm not sure which one it is. It does also have a bound in letter from the author in the front as well. But let's check out this synopsis, because I've heard it's the most YA thing that ever YA'd. It says, once upon a time there was a princess locked in a tower, forced to bend to her father's will. But Celine is no ordinary princess, and she has no intention of being a damsel in distress. Celine has a lover, Hugo, whose cunning plan to rescue her is tied up in his own ambition to reclaim the lands entitled are his birthright. If only they can break the spell that binds him to the body of a cat, they will free the kingdom from the grasp of a cruel witch and live happily ever after. For the plan to succeed, they must rely on Hugo's cousin, Philippe, to whom Celine must tether herself until Hugo can reclaim his birthright. It's a risk to trust him, but it soon becomes clear that this is the least of their problems, because this is a land of shapeshifters, magic and illusion, where nothing is as it seems, even the truth. Now, I gotta say, the synopsis doesn't sound terrible. It does sound like a pretty generic YA. A lot of synopses do. Yeah, I'm interested to read this to see, because like 2.78 average rating is low. It's hella low. And I want to know why. So I will. The original cover, I think, is very similar to this. I think it won't have like the patterned gold foiling on it, but I'll overlay it anyway just to show you. So next up we have my first order from Broken Binding. This is a special edition of a book that I know very little about, but based on the cover, I just really wanted it. And I'd seen it in Waterstones when I went to Rare in July, but the full price hardcover of this book is pretty expensive. So when I saw the Locked Library one for just a couple of pounds more than standard hardback price, I was like, well, I may as well get the special edition of it instead of the regular hardback. The packaging from Broken Binding is a win. I'm a fan. Then wrapped in a layer of bubble wrap, we have, I like this. This is a bookmark for the book. It's a really nice kind of like recycled paper print on that as well. It also has the sticker says it's Sons of Darkness and a ribbon. I don't want to open this. It's too pretty. So this one is Sons of Darkness by Gaurav Mohanty. This is a signed and numbered Broken Binding edition. It's number 908 of 2000. It has, I don't know, I'm assuming that the end papers are exclusive to it. And it is just the front ones, like the back ones are blank. So yeah, that's an exclusive end paper. We also have the stenciled edge on here as well. And the reason why I wanted this one, the reason why it was drawing my eye so much, is because the cover reminds me a lot of the cover for God's Grave by J. Kristoff. It looks like a cover that could be in the Nevernight series, and it's God's Grave is the one that has the wolf on. All I know about this is that it contains Indian folklore. The back says the sun will set, the world will kneel, the stars will bleed as the shadows dance to a prophecy long foretold. A tale of war and ruin, a ballad inked in blood. I think it's definitely adult, I think, and I'm pretty sure it's grimdark as well. But the inside synopsis says some ballads are inked in blood. Led dry by violent confrontations with the Magadhan Empire, the Mathuran Republic simmers on the brink of oblivion. Senator Krishna and his third wife Satyabhama have put their plans in motion, both within and beyond the Republic's blood-soaked borders, to protect it from total annihilation. But they are soon to discover that neither gold nor alliances last forever, and they are not the only players on the board. Marty, pirate princess of Kalinga, has decided to mend her ways and become a good wife. Old habits die hard, especially when one habitually uses murder to settle old scores. Brooding and beautiful Kana hopes to bury his brutal past, but finds that destiny is a miser when it comes to granting second chances. Hero turned torturer Shikuni limps through a path of daggers. Meanwhile, his foes and woes multiply, leaving little time for vengeance. Their lives are about to become yet more difficult as a cast of sinister queens, naive kings, pious assassins, and ravenous priests are converging where the Sons of Darkness is prophesied to rise, even as forgotten gods prepare to play their hand. So definitely sounds good. Hopefully it lives up to the hype of its cover, because I just think that this is a stunning fantasy cover. And then finally we have the August Illumicrate, which was sent to me to show to you guys, so thank you very much to Illumicrate for that. The theme for this month, oh, it's a pretty color. It is Hidden Magic. Here are the spoilers if you'd like to pause. The theme for September is My Last Breath, and I don't think, no, it doesn't tell you what the book is, but I can tell from the theme art what it is. But this one is for fans of Belladonna, Mexican Gothic, and If We Were Villains, and it also has a popular fandom neutral item in the September box. So I'm going to be going into this one blind. We have a mug straight up on the top. I think there's more wild bookmarks in here. The mug theme is Banked Fire. I can't immediately guess what the, oh, is it Prior of the Orange Tree? Prior of the Orange Tree is a book that I did not like very much, but I know a lot of people are big fans, and I love that it has a dragon on it. Next up, we'll check out these bookmarks because, you know, I'm really excited to find out these are the right quality. Thank you. If you guys watch my last unboxing, you will know that the Afterlight ones, the Ali Hazelwood ones, were blank on the back, which is definitely a different quality to what I expect from the Illumicrate bookmarks, but these ones, they're Mortal Instruments. I was worried because I saw the runes, and I was worried for a second that it would be a Shadowhunter series that I didn't love, but I'm pretty sure like this is what cemented it for me, that this is the Mortal Instruments. So we have, it's been a long time, let's see if I can remember. We have Clary, we have Alec, we have one of my first book boyfriends, Jace Wayland, we have Simon, we have Magnus, nearly called him Malik, that's not his name, and we have Izzy. I love Merwild bookmarks, they're one of my favorite Illumicrate items, so I'm really happy to see that these ones are back to like the standard that I expect from Merwild bookmarks, because the last couple, I want to say, of sets have not been quite up to scratch. I thought that this was the book of the month. It isn't. It is one of like the hidden book tins. I really like the eyes on this one. It says the Book of Eyes, although it is upside down, so the front of this, I don't know if you can see, like is not, like if I hold it like this, the title's the right way around, but the spine's upside down. So this has not been attached the correct way, but it is inspired by Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I do actually use these types of items to put things like pins and stuff in from book boxes. We also have some washi tape, which I do love me some washi tape. I wish I journaled more so I used it more, but I use it to tape like notes, like gift notes and stuff into the inside of my books. The washi tape is inspired by some of the characters of The House in the Cerulean Sea, which is a book that I 5-starred and absolutely loved, so that's really cute. And then I think, is that it for items? It is. So the book, oops, of the month, a very pretty color, and it is Zara by S.J. Jones, who is an author whose name I recognize. Yes, she's the author of Winter Song. I'll overlay the original cover over the top. I really like the dark green with the like corally pink. I have no idea and could not guess what this book is about based on looking at it, but we have an illustrated back on here as well. The back says Magic Flickers, Love Flames, Chaos Reigns. The edge is laser printed, and we have very pretty illustrated end pages in here as well. And do we have a printed hardcover? Oh my god, it looks like manga. That is stunning. Wow. It is also digitally signed by S.J. Jones as well. So the synopsis on this says, step into a stunning world of forbidden magic, romance and adventure from the author of the New York Times best-selling Winter Song. Magic is forbidden throughout the Morning Realms. Magicians are called abominations and blamed for the plague of monsters that razed the land 20 years earlier. Jin Zara already has enough to worry about, appeasing her stepmother's cruel whims, looking after her blind younger sister, and keeping her own magical gifts under control without having to deal with rumours of monsters re-emerging in the marsh. But when a chance encounter with an easily flustered young man named Han brings her into contact with a secret magical resistance organisation called the Guardians of Dawn, Zara realises there may be more to these rumours than she thought. A mysterious plague is corrupting the magicians of Zanhai, turning them into monsters. Only magicians are susceptible, and Zara, Han and their friends must find a way to defeat the plague before they or their loved ones are transformed. But as Zara and company get closer to the source of evil, they discover an even greater danger, one that threatens to throw the Morning Realms into darkness. To prevent the balance between order and chaos from being lost forever, Zara must find the elemental warrior within. I just looked up the cover, and this one is the same as the standard one, but it has like, it's foiled and it obviously has the alternate printed cover underneath. So I think that this is a pretty solid box from Illumicrate. I am a fan. Let me know in the comments as usual what your favorite item from this box was. For me, it's definitely, I think, the Merwild bookmarks. I'm real happy about these, but I also really love the washi tape as well. So that is, I'm pretty sure, all of my August unboxings. So, oh, we need to do the stack. Here we have my August books. I think the standout edges for this month are for sure the Fairyloot ones, but I think my favorite cover is gonna be Sons of Darkness, because obviously like the reason I bought this is because I love the cover on it to start off with. But down in the comments, let me know what your favorite edition or what the prettiest edition out of this stack is. Once again, a big thank you to Fairyloot and Illumicrate for sending me boxes to show to you guys in this video. Down in my description box, you will find a link to all of the websites for the subscription boxes that we covered in this video, as well as all of their social media and any discount codes that we may have. Also, of course, a big thank you to Wild for sponsoring this video, and please don't forget that if you would like to check out Wild for yourself, you can head to the link in my description box, use the code BeccaBooks at checkout, and get 20% off the entire Wild range. But that's it for this video, guys, so please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna. If you head to my description box, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to follow me on any of those, as well as a link to my Bookish Candle website, the Etsy for that, and a 10% off discount code. But that's it from me today, guys. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you're ready to go when nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.